Welcome to PR Learning Lab. My name is Biridya Akash, and in this tutorial, you will be learning about all the remaining tools available in Adobe Photoshop. In the previous tutorial, we have learnt about the pen tool. If you haven't watched the previous tutorial, you can find the link in the description below. Before we get started, please subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to get notifications. So let's get started. Today, the first tool we'll be learning about is the type tool or horizontal type tool, which is used to add text in our file. The keyboard shortcut for type tool is the letter capital T or just T. So as I have told, type tool helps in adding text to our file. In order to add a text to your file, you can either just left click here and then you can just type in your words. Let me say just hello there. And the other way to add text is by clicking left on your mouse and then dragging and making a box. So in this way your text will be confined only to this part of the area. Let me show you how is this. As you can see, here you can only see hello there, what are you? But when I click here, I get back to this box which includes this text. Now when I expand this, you can see the remaining text available. So by making a box like this, you can confine text to a particular area and you can hide text if required, and you can use this in many ways. In order to change the font of your text, just click and drag whole text and then go to the tab here, and then you can find many fonts right here. You can just go and then choose any of the fonts available, and you can also download many fonts from web and install them. For now, I'll show you another font which I have selected here, and in order to exit this text box, you have to click escape button on your keyboard, and this is usually which happens in the latest versions of Photoshop, but in the earlier versions you can directly click outside and it gets back to original normal move tool. Now I'll be changing the font for this, and let me choose this one, and here now I can change the type of font, that is light italic or bold italic from this tab right here. And these things are not available for all the font types. These are available only for few font types. Now in order to increase the font size, just select the text and then increase the font size right here like this. And in order to move your text, click V, that is the move tool, and then just move it right here. Now if I want to change the font size to greater than 72 pt, I'll just click here and then I'll just type in right here. It's too big, let me just decrease the size. As you can see, it occupies the whole area. Let me get back to the original file. Now if you want to add color to your text, you have to click and drag the text you want to change the color for and click here, and then you can change the color right here. Let me keep this blue and leave this right here, and I'll change this to maybe yellow, or let me change this to red. And this is how you can choose the color of the text or the font. Let me show you what else you can do with the type tool. Let me just leave it like this and just change the font size to 12 maybe. This is basically a paragraph which designers use just like a prototype. Now as you can see, the whole text is aligned to center, so you can left align this by going here and clicking on the left, and if you want to right align this, you can directly go and click this one. And if you want more options, I will go right here in this tab, either paragraph or character. Let me show you what does character mean. Now, if I want to increase the font size, I can do it even right here and even change the font here and the font style. And there are some other things which are available here. Let me quickly select this text. And then what does this mean? This means the space between each line. Now let me increase this, and as you can see, the space between this each line which I have selected has increased. Let me get this back to the original one, and this one increases the length of the text, like individual text, like this. Let us keep this back to normal, and as you can see, this sets the baseline shift like this. That is, basically it will give space below your text, and it's just like his HTML margin and padding. And so this thing right here, this is used to increase the spacing between each word or each letter. As you can see, the space has increased. You can see that the spacing between each word and each letter has been increased using this one. And apart from that, you can bold the text right here like this, and italic and capitalize the whole text. And this is the subscript, this is the superscript option, and this is the crossing the text option, and this is the underlining thing. Now apart from this character type, there's another option called here paragraph. So paragraph is basically used for modifying the whole text, that is whole paragraph. I have shown these options, that is left align, right align and center align right here. And apart from that, there's left justify align, right justify align, and center justify align, and normal justify all. So what does justify mean? Justify usually means that whatever you type, it completely fills whole area which you have selected. Right here, let me show you like this. Now it is left aligned and it is filling right here the whole box which we have created. Now this is center aligned. You cannot see much change, but it is justifying the text, that is, it is filling the whole box. And this is right align, which doesn't change at all, and this is justify text. You will be looking at the changes when you deal with more text, and usually when you make a magazine or newspapers or something like that in Photoshop. So let me get back to the original file. Now I'll click this hello there. I'll select the whole text, and suppose sometimes you might be wondering how do they curve the text, that is, make the text around in a circle or on a curve. The option available here, this create warp tool text or create warp text, allows you to curve the text right here. Here right now the style is set to none. Now I'll change the style to arc, and now you can see it becomes like an arc shaped, and you can do this like vertical as well, and you can change the bend as well like this, and you can even distort it horizontally and vertical as well. You can do many things with these options. Arc lower, arc upper, there are many options available and you can play around with it. So this is basically the normal type tool. Apart from this is actually known as horizontal type tool. Apart from that, there is vertical type tool. If you have guessed it, you are right. It helps you to type the text in vertical way. Let me select, and then right here. So as you type, it goes down hello like this. So that is why we use vertical type tool. Apart from horizontal and vertical type tool, there is these options available which are known as vertical type mask and horizontal type mask. I will be explaining about masking in the later tutorials, so it is better you will be understanding about these things in the later tutorials ahead. So after the type tool, we have the next tool which is known as path selection tool. Path selection tool is basically used to select a path, and as I have told in the previous tutorial in the pen tool where you can make paths using the pen tool, and you'll be using this tool to select that path which you have made using the pen tool. Coming to our next tool, it is known as the rectangle tool, or basically it is known to use or to draw shapes in Photoshop. Here rectangle tool, and there are other tools in this family which are rounded rectangle tool, ellipse tool, polygon tool, line tool, custom shape tool. Let me explain you the first tool, that is the rectangle tool. I'll select this, and if you want to make a rectangle, I'll click here and then drag it like this. Now I can change the fill here and add stroke if required, and then I can change the stroke intensity or stroke size right here. Apart from that, when I made the rectangle, you have seen this property tabs open. Here you can change the rectangle width, height and everything else right here instead of just drawing. And if I want to make this part curved, I'll just click here and then click enter. As it is set, that is as I have logged, the corners are getting equally curved. That is, if I change one curve or one corner, everything gets changed accordingly. Now let me remove this lock, and now I'll increase this to 30 pixels, and now you can see this curve right here, which is more than the other curves as I have removed the lock. You can even change these things, you will be knowing it as you play around, and you can change the color and the stroke right here. Let me delete this rectangle first. Now let me get back to this tool. Now I'll choose the rounded rectangle tool. Rounded rectangular tool, as the name suggests, helps you in making rounded rectangle. That is, the edges are already curved. You need not give any extra curve like we just gave to our rectangle. Right here, as you can see, it already comes with a curve. That is, basically it is a rectangle with fixed curves, and you can change it even right here. And let me tell you some interesting thing while making these shapes. Let me get back to rectangle tool, and this can be used for any of these tools, that is any of these shapes. So suppose right here, as I am clicking and dragging, you can see I'm making a normal rectangle. But suppose I want to make a square. So how do you think? You might be thinking you have to just click and drag and make it like exact square, but that doesn't always need to be. That is, you might not end up getting a square. In order to make a square, what you have to do is click left on your mouse and then click shift and then drag it. As I have told even in the earlier tutorial, shift is usually used for proportional things, that is to change things in certain angles or certain shapes like this. What does shift does? Here right now, shift does is that it keeps all the sides equal. That is, it helps in making shapes with equal size edges. Now as I have clicked shift and dragged, it was making the square as I was dragging, that is towards the side which I was pulling. Let me show you again what happened. I'll click right here and then click shift. As I drag, as you can see, I'm dragging right side, so it's expanding right side. And if I drag here, it will expand this side and this side and this side. But suppose I want to drag it according to a center, that is where I have selected, I wanted it to be a center. In order to do that, I have to click shift, and along with that I have to click and hold alt as well. When I do this, as you can see, now it expands in according to the center which I have selected. So you can do this even with the other tools available in this family, that is the rounded rectangle tool. I'll click shift and then drag it right here, and I'll click shift and alt and then drag it right here. Let me just get rid of all these shapes. Sometimes you might have wanted to draw an ellipse or a circle. You can do that by going here and then choosing the ellipse tool and then directly click and drag. If you click and drag, normally it will form an ellipse. like this. And you can change the fill and stroke right here, and you can change the width and x-axis and y-axis as well as height right here. But suppose if you want to make a circle, let me get rid of all this text right here. I'll get rid of this as well. Now let me zoom out. Now let me choose this. I'll be using the keyboard shortcut U. Now in order to make the circle, I'll click shift and drag it. Now you can see it becomes exact circle. And suppose if I wanted to make along with a center, I'll click shift and alt and then drag it right here, just like that. It's so simple. Apart from this, we can make many more shapes using this tool. Let me choose the next tool, that is the polygon tool. In polygon tool, all you have to do is select the sides right here. You can just draw like this. And if you want it to be equal, click shift. If you don't want it to be equal or don't want it to rotate, just hold or leave shift. Shift is the key for all these things. And if you want to make it along with the center, I'll click shift alt and then make it. Sometimes you might be wondering, or you might want to draw shapes like stars. You can make star by using this option here available. Go here, click star and then select the percentage and play around with percentage so that you can know what you can do with this option. Now I'll just click and then drag it. As you can see, I have formed a star with 5 hands. And if I want to increase the number of hands, I can do it by going here and then increasing them. 9. Now let me get rid of this first. Now I'll select this tool. Now I'll drag it. Now you can see there are 9 sides or 9 hands for this star. There are other options available here. Let me tell you about this merging, which is very useful in making the shapes or making new shapes. So let me tell you something interesting about this shape or rectangular tool or any of the shape tools. Now first let me draw a rectangle right here. Now I'll click on this, and as you can see it was already set on new layer. That means whenever you draw using this tool, it creates new layer right here in layers panel. But if you want to make a shape, that is combined shapes, you can click on this combine shape, and then without changing the layer, that is clicking on the same layer, you can add it. That is like this simply, and you can do so on and on. You can either touch this shape and or not, that is like this outside as well. Now I'm going to click V, that is the move tool, and now you can see this whole shape is combined, that is it's all together. This is how you merge or combine shapes, and you can do more things with this. I'll show you something else. Let me get rid of this. Now I'll choose this. Now I'll make a new layer which is already set here. Now I'll click subtract front shape here. Here what it does, it subtracts the front shape and the remaining thing is according to the fill which we have selected. Now as you can see, I'm going back to the move tool, and here you go. Except this area, everything else is filled. Now even if I move or make anything, it will be remaining same. Let me delete this layer. So you can play around with that options available to merge shapes and create new shapes. So let me get back to this tool, and now you can see the next tool available. This is the line tool. Line tool, as the name suggests, you can make lines using this tool. Here I have made a line, and I can change the type of line, that is dotted or like this, and I'll just click enter. I'll click, and this is already dotted again. Let me make a normal line. I'll click here and then I'll click this line, enter, and you cannot see it properly. Let me make another one and increase this, and as you can see the stroke is set to white, so I couldn't see it. Now I'll remove the stroke and then I'll click enter. Now you can see the line. I'll click and drag and you can make a line as simple as that. Now here stroke was set again back to white. Now I have removed the stroke and you can see it clearly. Here you go. Let me get rid of all these lines. Now let me show you another tool available, that is the custom shape tool. Here custom shape tool, you can draw many different shapes which are available right here. Like as you can see, it is already set to something like a buffalo thorn tree, which it says. I'll just click and drag. As you can see, I have drew this shape, and here you can see it showing all like blue color. This is because of the points which I have been set to the edges. Now just click enter and leave it. Now you can see it has formed this tree, and you can change this right here. I can make a tree like this which looks like a Christmas tree, and just click enter. So custom shape tool is usually used to make certain custom shapes which can be downloaded from the net or which are already available in our Photoshop. Just let me choose this color to blue and make the next one like this. Now I'll change the color to blue. As simple as that. So let me get rid of all these shapes. Now the next tool which is available is the rotate view tool, which helps in rotating the view. Now first, to visualize this, I'll just make certain custom shape or any shape like this. Now I'll click enter. Now I'll choose this and then I'll just rotate this. As you can see, I can just rotate as simple as that. Let me get back to the original one. Now I'll just rotate in particular angles, that is I'll click shift and then rotate. Here you can see I can rotate in particular angles only, that is 45 degrees or 15 degrees or 30 degrees and 90 degrees, 180. So this you can use to rotate the whole canvas right here. And the next tool available is the zoom tool. As the keyboard shortcut suggests, zoom tool is used, or we get zoom tool by clicking Z on our keyboard, and it is you can zoom into our canvas just by clicking. Now you might be wondering how to zoom out. You can click Alt and you can see that magnifying tool has turned negative symbol. Now you can just click directly normally and then this zooms out. But usually you can directly zoom in by clicking Alt and then using the scroll bar on your mouse or just on your keypad, zoom in or zoom out. Here you can see this thing available. This is nothing but to edit the toolbar which is available. You can edit the keyboard shortcuts if required. You can change them accordingly as you want them to. I have kept them on the default ones because that is what I usually use and I got used to it. And apart from that, here you can see this is called the color palette or color tool, where we can choose the color, and here you can set the foreground color and background color. So you can switch between these colors. Let me set this background color to blue. Now you can see I haven't choose any tool. Let me choose the brush tool by clicking B, and then I'll click the background and I'll just draw, and here you can see it draws with black. But if I want to switch to blue, I did not go here and choose blue. Instead of that, what I'm going to do is I'll just click on this arrow key which swaps the color, that is the foreground color is changed to background color. Now as you can see, I'm drawing in blue. This is best way to use the foreground and background color thing. So here we go guys, we have completed successfully and learned all the tools available in Photoshop. And now you are a step ahead to become a graphic designer. Now you can use these tools and make many things and make many posters or anything required. You can play around with these things, but in order to make proper utilization of Photoshop, tools are not only the things. There are layers and many more options available, and you will be learning about them in the coming tutorials ahead. Thank you for watching this video. Please like and share this video and also subscribe to our channel.